What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to day number 24 of Autodesk Fusion. Today we're working on holes, how to do those holes quickly, and how to do them where it doesn't consume the geometry. So first thing I noticed is that in my drawing file that I pulled up here, it's actually in units of inches, but by default Fusion's going to be in millimeters. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to Document Settings, Units, change Active Units to be inches, and then click OK. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create a sketch, and I know that the outside diameter of my disc is 4 inches. The reason I'm just going to go ahead and do that is when I pull in this drawing file, it's easy on where to put it, and there we go. So we already got our disc, pretty easy, but as far as all those other features go, we want to see them easier rather than having to tab back and forth on that drawing file. So I'm going to go ahead and just throw it in as a canvas, and this allows me to just see my part easily. So what I'm going to do here is go and do this. Now for some reason, sometimes it's going to throw it in as backwards, which is okay because all I'm going to do then is just flip this around. Alright, now if I'm going to make it just like the other part I did, I'm going to go ahead and also put this on the other side. And I'm going to turn that transparency or that opaqueness up to 100% so I can see that those parts really easily. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create a new sketch on this plane on the face of my disc so far, and it's going to be a circle that is 2.5 inches in diameter. I'm going to hit right click and make this a construction circle because we're actually not going to be using it all in our feature. And I'm going to put a single point on the edge of that circle. And then I'm also now going to rotate this point. Center point is the center of my circle, and we're going to rotate it around 5 times. So now what I've done is I've got 5 different points that are all 72 degrees, because 360 divided by 72, or divided by 5 is 72, is I now have the 5 locations for my holes. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Finish Sketch, and then click on Hole. And this allows me to click on that first point right there. This first hole at the top is a through hole with an outside diameter of 0.25 inches. And that's it. Now, at this point, people are like, oh no, my sketch is consumed, where'd my points go? What I'm going to do is, in this little drop down right here, I'm going to make these sketches visible, sketch 2 that has my points on it, and it allows me to reference this sketch from here on out. So I'm going to do my next hole, which is going to be a counterbore. So on my selection panel over here, you're going to see counterbore, and it's going to be a through hole. Length is, total depth is 1.5 inches. Outside diameter is going to be 0.375. The depth of your counterbore is going to be, oh no, the outside diameter is 0.75 with a depth of 0.25 inches. And my inside diameter is going to be 0.375. All right, go ahead and hit click OK. Oh, I put 2 points in there, didn't I? There we go. And there we go. Now we got our second hole. So now I'm going to work on my third hole. And see that since that sketch is always there, it allows me to reference it pretty quickly. This is going to be a countersink. And that outside, that total length is 1.5. And since it's through, outside diameter is going to be 0.75 again, 82 degrees. Inside diameter is going to be 0.375. Click OK, and we're done. Next one's going to be an interesting one because Fusion has a way for you to automatically model if it's a threaded hole. So what I'm going to do in here is I'm going to click on, we're going to do a simple hole, and we're going to do a tapped hole. Now, the size of that hole is going to be a 1/4 inch. So I'm going to scroll down here, find 1/4 inch. And there are other parameters as far as the class, the designation, the size, but we want this to go through as a depth of 0.75. Now here's a really cool feature within Fusion. Down here in the modeled feature, we can click OK, and it will actually model the threads on that hole. There we go. Now we can see those holes. Those threads inside are modeled, which I think is a really neat feature. So we're going to zoom out, and this last hole, it doesn't have any parameters on it, but it looks like a through hole. So I'm just going to click on it, make it a through hole, simple, and that diameter looks like it's just a hair bit smaller than the one across from it. And we didn't go through, so I'm going to go double click on my timeline, click on all the way through, make this 1.5 inches, and then we're done. Cool. So here's a couple things we've done. We've done holes. We're able to use Canvas to pull up our drawing files, and we changed our units from millimeters to inches. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Later.